Ziggy Marley has won 5 Grammy Awards for his music. He's an actor, he's an activist, and he is son of the reggae legend Bob Marley.
He is that. Now he's sharing the story of his dad's life and legacy in a new documentary. It's called, appropriately, Marley. Ziggy Marley, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And we're so glad you're here. I learned so much about your dad. Number one, it's 2 hours and 25 minutes. It's a little long, Ziggy. And I thought, okay, I'll watch 15 minutes, then I'll watch 45. And then before I knew it, 2 hours and 27 minutes had zoomed by.
Yeah.
But it's my understanding this is the first time the family really approved. You said you've never read any books about your dad because they don't know what they're talking about. But this one, you said they got it right.
Yeah, this one we were intimately involved with from the beginning because we wanted to do something that was definitive and kind of be like the final word on Bob, and we had to be involved in it for it to be that. So we got Kevin MacDonald, who directed Last King of Scotland and Eagle, to work on it with us, and I was an executive producer on the project. So I was hands-on on the project, so that was really good.
What do you think he would want the final word to be?
Well, I think he wants everyone to love each other, basically.
Yes.
That's his message, and I think we want people to have an emotional connection to Bob beyond the legend, beyond the idol. With this film, what we hope to do is to bring people closer to Bob as a person and create that emotional connection.
Beyond the music to the soul.
Yes, definitely.
So what do you see? You mentioned he wanted everybody to love each other. You want people to get closer to him. But is there anything new that you learned about your dad in going through this whole process?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot of new things. The early days, specifically that because he was of mixed race, his father was a white Englishman, and his mother.
I didn't know that, Ziggy.
Yeah,
a lot of people didn't know. I had no idea he was mixed race.
There was some issues with that, with him growing up coming up in Kingston. When he moved from the country to Kingston, there were some racial issues which kind of surprised me in Jamaica. It was like, what, really? I didn't know that. And then some of the funny stuff in the film was a story about when they had the band, the Wailers, which was Bob, Pete, and Bunny. They used to rehearse in the cemetery to get rid of stage fright, which is kind of funny too.
That's one way to do it. I love how you said he wanted people to love everyone because Papa was a little bit of a Rolling Stone. There were 11 kids with 7 different women, and your sister talked about it very poignantly, that it caused some pain for her in growing up. And I want to know from your point of view what he was like for as a father, and what it taught you about being a father, because you're married with children.
Well, he was a very strong father, but he was so focused on what he was doing, that a lot of the parenting was actually left up to my grand aunt, because my mother was always with him too. But when we were around him, what we learned mostly from was the experience. Yeah, it wasn't a sit down and speak to you. Is what we saw and the actions that we saw he took. For me, in my early days, this was what we were used to. Yeah. This wasn't anything out of the ordinary for us. Yeah. But I found it didn't really work for me, so.
Good. May I just say on behalf of your wife, who I met, good. Now, it comes up 4/20/20. What is it? There's the significance of the date.
Significance?
See, I've never smoked marijuana. I don't understand, so translate.
It's too significant. That date is my brother's birthday. Stephen, that's my brother's birthday. And then they have this, I don't know why, I don't even know why. It's 4/20 is like a day to celebrate the plant, cannabis.
Okay.
So to celebrate the plant.
Were you aware of 4/20, Charlie? Go ahead, Charlie, share. Erica, were you aware?
Interestingly for Charlie, it appears we're out of time. It's Ziggy, very nice to have you here.
Ziggy has a new album, Wild and Free, as well.
Yes, and Marley opens in theaters and video on demand next Friday, 4/20.